2, 1, go.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Pro Line. Jim Vice is here. I'm Dave Cokin. We've got a little bowl action to talk about, and TV college basketball tonight as well. I've got a bunch of bowl players up on the website right now. Off to a very good start with the college football bowls. College football and the NHL are going extremely strong for me right now. I can't say that the same about the basketball. Because, I've been struggling with the basketball. We'll try and get those rolling as well. Jim, I know you had a big play last night on Lane Kiffin and Florida Atlantic, and you'll never have an easier one.
No, you're right. I felt strongly that I had the better team playing at home, which is kind of crazy, and a guy that's constantly auditioning for other positions, and just felt like he was going to roll it as much as he could. I mean, he's a different kind of dude, and I know he signed a long-term contract, but I would bet against him fulfilling that contract. He'll be somewhere else in the year or so, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
think you're right.
I also had Northern Colorado last night, which was a straight-up dog winner, which is kind of cool, and that was college hoops. We got some big games coming up in the NFL this week, Dave. But I know you have you wanted to mention something about the Golden Knights, the amazing Golden Knights.
Absolutely incredible. This team has taken Las Vegas in the NHL by storm. And I think last night was probably the most dramatic win yet, because they were facing Tampa Bay, which has been the best team in the league. They're down 2-0, come back with 3 goals in a row. Then they tied it up late. It looked like it was going to overtime. The Golden Knights scored a power play with about 2.7 seconds left. It's just the most amazing. I've been around sports for a long time, and you have as well. Honestly, this is an expansion team, folks. This is their first year. This isn't supposed to happen. It's one of the most, it is the most, honestly, the most incredible sports story I've ever been around. And for it to be taking place right here in our backyard is really cool.
You know, it really is. You're right. When they announced that we were going to get a hockey franchise here in Las Vegas, I was really skeptical. We didn't have that many hockey fans here, and I didn't know that this would work. But so this is so good for building a fan base, because there's nothing better than building a fan base by winning. Especially when you're not supposed to win. And it's absolutely amazing. It's like me going on the PGA Tour and winning a tournament. It's like crazy. And if anybody saw me play golf, you know that would be impossible. But anyway, this is nuts. I remember the days, Dave, when you and I used to go out and hit it around.
Yeah, and was respectable at that time, but that's done. Hey, listen, here's the thing on the Golden Knights. Is what has happened between, not only are they winning games, but they've been phenomenal in terms of community outreach. I mean, they're involved in every project around town. They had a dog adoption 2 days ago. You can't believe the number of people that showed up for a dog adoption event. A bunch of the players were there, holding Pomeranians or whatever, and it was tremendously successful. Here's where they've gone about this in a great way to build a fan base. They've locked into kids. And I know several guys, including our friend Scott Spreitzer. Now, his daughter, we were talking about this with Joe yesterday, his daughter's not. She likes gymnastics and stuff like that because she participates in those things. Well, she went to her first hockey game. She's completely hooked on the team now. And that's the same with kids all over town. They are watching all the games. And we don't have a lot of ice out here, but Brookfield, plus the practice facilities, are open to the public, and these places are absolutely packed now. Packed with kids. And the next thing is youth hockey is going to take off. This franchise is going to be extraordinarily successful. And you know what? I tip of the cap to the hockey players. Because, and I could be wrong, we'll find out in a few years when they get here. I can't imagine the NFL Raiders players doing the same stuff in the community that the NHL guys with the Knights have done. If I'm wrong, fantastic. But I'm going to tell you something. The Raiders are going to have a tough act to follow when they get there.
Well, yeah, and the interesting thing about the NFL, we have a franchise. I'm just going on a side note here. I think the Golden Knights are doing a great job building that fan base, and tapping into getting the kids interested is really a smart move, especially if you intend to be around for 10, 15, 20 years, and I think they do. But we have a franchise for sale in the NFL right now, in the Carolina Panthers, and if anybody knows anything about Carolina, it's a hell of a place to live. It's a great spot in this country, and it's been voted as the best city to live in the United States in many polls. But it's interesting that Mark Cuban comes out and says he's not interested in buying it. The NFL is in trouble. It's going down. It's slipping, and whether you agree with that or not, Bob Costas basically said the same thing. The league needs to clean itself up, and I mean, this is serious. This is serious. I mean, I'm not going to be around forever, but I've followed the NFL. I love it. It's my favorite sport to watch, and they really need to get someone with a vision of what the hell is going on. I mean, you got these 32 owners that are super wealthy and totally out of touch with communities. And they need to get it together. And
Jim, they can't even get the rules straight. Look, I mean, and I understand. I had no stake in it. I don't care one way or the other. What happened at the end of the Steelers game? Now, according to the rules, it wasn't a catch. The rule needs to be changed. Fix the rules. Okay, I mean, this is the typical NFL attitude. It took them like 10 years to fix the touch rule after everybody on the planet knew that Tom Brady fumbled the football. I mean, it was a fumble, plain and simple. This is what the NFL does. Basically, we don't care what you think, and we don't care what you're watching. We're going to do things the way we want to do them, and if you don't like it, too bad. That's the way it is with this idiotic receiver rule, which started a few years ago with the Calvin Johnson catch in the end zone, where he was clearly a catch. And according to their stupid rule, it's not. Fix the damn rule. I mean, that's what happened Sunday. That's a touchdown at any other level of football. It's a touchdown in college. It's a touchdown in flag football. It's a touchdown in high school. It's not in the NFL. Fix the rule. This is part of their problem. They have this constant, we are better than you attitude. And I think people are starting to get sick of it.
Well, Dave, you 100%, 1,000% right. Exactly. 10 years ago, what it was 10 years ago, I don't remember. But they've been oblivious to anything because people just keep coming back and watching and paying bigger tickets. And the franchise numbers go up and these teams are worth more than ever, and et cetera, et cetera. When a guy like Mark Cuban says, I don't want to invest in a team in the NFL because the values of this league and teams are going down because they've messed it up. And then you got a Jerry Jones that didn't want a Roger Goodell to be rehired because, well, maybe because of the Ezekiel Elliott thing, maybe because it seems like Goodell has his head in the clouds. He's not in touch. Yes, he represents the owners, but at some point in time, somebody's going to come along with a product that's going to hook into the public, and the public's going to start going in a different direction. And that seems to be happening a little bit. And we see it, there's a lot of things. You got hockey and soccer, and you got these esports that people are all over this esports stuff. I mean, so the NFL, maybe Roger Goodell is no longer good as a leader because he's not a visionary. Now, granted, they're trying to take the product to other countries in order to duck some of this problem and build a fan base in these other countries. And maybe actually that's a smart move for them if they can get away with it, but I'm not sure they can.
Well, it is a smart move. Meanwhile, the rules are a little clearer in college football. We have a game tonight, the Frisco Bowl, which is not San Francisco, it's Frisco, Texas. And we have a very unusual situation here. Sonny Dykes is the new head coach at SMU. He took the job He had been an assistant this year at TCU, and of course he's been a former head coach, interestingly, at Louisiana Tech and at California. Didn't work out for him in Cal. He has taken over immediately as the head coach, which is very unusual. Normally, when there's a new head coach who wasn't at the program already, if it was somebody who was on the staff, that's one thing. But Dykes is coming in from another school, and normally when that happens, they don't coach the bowl game. They let the assistants handle it, and it's less of a disruption, potential distraction. But Dykes actually has stepped right in and will be on the sidelines as the head coach of this game. I think that's a little bit of a disruption myself. My number on the game was exactly the same as the line. I had SMU -4. I didn't play it, but I would lean Louisiana Tech here. I think, they'll have the underdog mentality, first of all, which is not a bad thing. And secondly, I don't have anything to go on with this because it hasn't happened before. But I think Dykes, being the head coach, could disturb the routine, and I don't think that's a positive. So I lean to Louisiana Tech. We can use that as a podcast free play if you want.
Dave, what's the total with the story with the total going up 3 points or 3.5 points from 68 to 71 or 71.5? Louisiana Tech, do you see that kind of an offensive production of that team?
Yeah, because SMU can't stop anything. They've got a really good offense. They'd have trouble stopping you, me, and 9 other guys. They're an awful defensive team. So, and if anything, based on his track record, Dykes is going to throw the ball even more than Chad Morris did. I mean, Dykes loves to throw the ball. So it's going to be a wide-open football game.
Well, that's perhaps why it's moved like that. College hoops have been very good for Dave. You said that you've been in a little slump for that, but you were doing really well for quite a long time, and you're about. We all hit slumps. It has to happen. There'd be no bookmakers if you won every bet. You know that?
Yeah, I don't like it though. I don't like. And here's what happens in slumps. I had a UNLV play against Pacific last Saturday, where they're in complete control of the game. They're up 11 with 11 seconds to go and didn't cover 6.5. They gave up 6 points in 1 second. Last night, I was at UCLA, -7.5. They're ahead with 5 minutes to go in the game. They're ahead 78-54, a 24-point lead with 5 minutes to go, and they didn't cover 7.5. That's what happens when you're struggling.
Well, that has nothing to do with your handicapping. That is just the roll of the dice. You go to a crap table, you can throw 7s all day, or you can crap out all day. I mean, it's random, and that will switch. Just keep doing what you're doing because you're obviously picking the right sides. It's just not working out. That's why the reality of this business is you can win 6 out of 10 games. That's the reality. It's always going to be the reality. If you're really good, 6 out of 10 is where you're going to end up being. 58 out of 100, 62 out of 100. But you're going to have streaks when you're 8-1 or 9-0, or you're going to have streaks when you're 2-8. So it just happens. It's part of the game. It's the same thing as the stock market or all kinds of things. There's fluctuations and randomness. So, hey, listen, Dave's picks, my picks, Hank's picks, everybody else's picks on the website, JimFeist.com, VegasSportsMasters.com. I've got plays up on the website for bowls and college hoops and the NFL. We haven't talked much about the NFL today, but there are some big games and there's lots of implications from, you really have to be careful on this Sunday because teams that may win or lose early in the day or the previous day will have an effect on what happens or what the motivation is for the games coming up. For example, Minnesota, Philadelphia. What's the impact of Minnesota losing the game straight up or winning the game straight up on the Philadelphia Eagles, Dave?
There you go.
That's what people need to be aware of. Minnesota plays on Saturday. They're playing Green Bay, who has no Aaron Rodgers, and then Philadelphia is the last game on Monday night. If Minnesota were to lose, Philadelphia has a different motivation than if they were to win. So be aware of the implication of one team winning or losing at this point in the season. Detroit's going to Cincinnati, and I'll just tell you right now, there's absolutely no reason for Cincinnati to show up in that game. And all the garbage about playing one for the coach, well, they haven't played one for the coach, and they tried to do that in playoff games for the last 15 years, and they haven't been successful. So I throw that out the window.
I can't disagree with that. Well, hopefully we'll have a great night tonight, and we'll get rolling on my end. You'll keep rolling on your end, and we'll come back and do this again tomorrow.
All right, Dave. Thank you.